In today's video, I'm going to be discussing 5 major changes to stimulus checks in 2024. And yes, this does pertain to the low-income and fixed-income beneficiaries of Social Security, including retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, spousal, SSI, VA, and RRB. That's the focus of this video. Let's get into it and talk through all the details. Alright, there's a lot to cover here in this video. I want to buzz through the details of these 5 major changes right now in 2024 and how this may impact stimulus checks right now this year. Now here's the thing, let me ask you a quick question. Do you need a stimulus check right now? Which, by the way, this is not me trying to be funny or come up with some little joke here and try to ask you a trick question, but rather it's obvious. We all need something right now. I think I'm speaking for everybody right now. That is the vast majority of the population. In fact, look at any survey, any report, any piece of information that comes out right now talking about the finances of the American people right now, you'll see it's not a good situation. So many people are falling behind right now. We are at levels right now that we have not seen in well over a decade. In fact, delinquencies right now on bills, credit cards, and auto loans are at the highest pace that we've seen, the highest percentage of people delinquent on these bills since 2010. So that's like 14 plus years ago, right? That is a long, long time, and we're in a very bad situation right now for the vast majority of people with their finances. Therefore, why is this happening? Well, a whole variety of catalysts and a whole variety of reasons here over the last couple of years, basically siphoning all the money out of our pockets and our bank accounts, and now people are really, really struggling. And that's the case that we're dealing with. But I don't want to get off to sidetrack too far here, but I want to get into it and talk about the details of these 5 major changes. Again, I'm going to buzz through the details. I'm not going to go into a bunch of depth on each of them simply because it's going to take way too long if I were to do that. And as always, I want to be respectful of your time, so I'm going to buzz through the details. As always, if you have any questions, comments, anything like that, stick it down below in the comment section. I'll do my best to answer those. Otherwise, come back and make a dedicated video where I see fit to, again, answer other questions or follow up if I need to. Which, by the way, if you have not done so yet, make sure to do yourself a huge favor. Subscribe down below. There's the big subscribe button down there. Hit that. I'm here for you every single day, doing all the research that you don't need to, breaking it all down into these short videos, and again, advocating on your behalf in any way that I possibly can be, as I have been for many years now. Thousands and thousands of videos here on the channel, which feel free to share this with your friends on social media as well. There's a big share button right down below the video as well. Thank you so much. Truly appreciate your support. Let's talk through the details. And again, buzzing through these one at a time here. All right, so number one, I want to point out the obvious, which is the election year, okay? Now, we all know this is coming, November of this year, the presidential election. This is very, very important, okay? Now, here's the thing. This is one of several catalysts here, okay? Here's what I want to point out. Do you think that politicians, as in the people that are possibly in control or want to be in control, things like this, do you think all the people in Congress right now, the president included, do you think that maybe, I don't know, they want to keep their job or be reelected, which, by the way, these are not political statements. I'm not taking sides here. I'm just simply saying, let's just state the obvious. Do you think that they want to, keep a job, stuff like that? Do you think that they do things in front of presidential elections to maybe, I don't know, sweeten the pot a little bit, to maybe get a vote? Let's just be real. We see it all the time, okay? This happens all the time. It happened back in 2021 as well. I could give you an exact example on that. I'm going to leave it out of this video for now, but it happened, okay? That is why we got $1,400 stimulus checks back in early 2021 because of this exact same reason, okay? So again, election year, this is certainly going to play a major role in this. Obviously, we'll have to see what happens this year, okay? Now next, the Federal Reserve. Now, what is going on with the Federal Reserve and how this may impact it, okay? Here's the thing. The Federal Reserve has aggressively raised interest rates over the last year and a half or so, and interest rates are very, very high right now. Again, siphoning cash right out of our bank accounts, right out of our pockets, as a result of high interest rates, okay? It's making it very difficult for a lot of people. As a result of that, eventually, we're going to be completely out of cash. In fact, I just read a report not that long ago. As of right now, we have a little bit over $800 billion in savings. We, the people, collectively. Not me. I don't have $818 billion in savings. I wish I did. We wouldn't have to have this conversation right now. We'd all be sitting high and dry, because don't worry, I'd look out for you. I'd give you some of it, okay? But I do not, okay? I can guarantee you that. I wish I did, but I do not, okay? But the reports are coming in showing right now, collectively, all of us, 334 plus million people across the country have collectively $800 plus billion in savings. That's not very much money. If you divide that out on a per household or per person basis, it's not much. It's very little money, okay? As a result of that, this money is likely going to be gone. What happens when we run out of money? When interest rates are very high, we don't want to lean on credit to, borrow money and things like that. Therefore, if our savings is drawn down to zero, we have no more firepower to basically continue spending and basically driving the economy, right? So if the economy stalls out and spits and sputters and, basically just ends up on the side of the road, well, then guess what happens? The economy goes down fast, right? If spending dries up, then guess what happens? The economy contracts very quickly. So this is all because of the Federal Reserve and their interest rate policies. So we'll have to continue to see what they do going forward. But this is actually a very important thing we need to continue watching. What are they going to do with interest rates? When we see them start cutting interest rates, guess what? That is a major sign that the economy is not in a good position, and they're cutting rates to spur borrowing, to spur spending. That's the reason behind it, okay? All right, so that's number 2. Next, inflation. This is not as big of a deal anymore, but this was a big deal over the last couple of years. High inflation, right? Jacking up prices on everything. Super annoying. Prices are still very high right now, okay? So for the couple of years there, inflation was a major story. Today, inflation's not as big of a story, and I can guarantee you this much. If we go into a major economic contraction, I can tell you this much, they're not going to care one bit about inflation. They won't care at all, okay? A lot of people say, oh, we don't want to spur inflation. Are you kidding me? If the economy goes down in a major ball of flames, the last thing we're going to hear from anybody is, oh, we got to worry about inflation. They won't care at all. They'll print trillions of dollars again. They'll plow it into the economy through the form of checks, stimulus, all kinds of things like this. And inflation will be like the end of the day story. We won't care one bit about inflation anymore at that point, okay? Next on my list, number 4, is unemployment, okay? Now, this is something we've seen holding steady, as in the unemployment rate. It's right around the 3.5% to 4% range. Again, it oscillates. It has not been up to 4% recently, but it's kind of oscillating between the 3.5% to 3.7%, 3.8% range, okay? Now, this is historically very low. However, it is a metric we need to continue watching. If you heard me talk about this before, you know that unemployment rate and the jobs reports that we get every single month are possibly, in my opinion, one of the most important economic reports that we get all the time, once monthly, because this shows us a broad picture of how healthy the economy is. As the economy contracts, guess what? Jobs are lost. People are laid off. Businesses go under. They go belly up. They close their doors. They lay people off, right? This is a broad economic data point that we can see to see how businesses are doing and the overall economy as a whole. Remember, stimulus checks are distributed because of the health of the economy. When the economy's down, money is printed and it's plowed out, given away to people so we can spend it and spur the economy again. That's the whole point of stimulus, okay? Which brings me to my last point here, number 5, which is a major recession / economic contraction. Now, as of right now, we continue to see some data points, and again, we continue to see some economic data coming out saying, oh, look out, here comes the big recession. We have not seen the big thing yet, okay? The big one, as they might say, like, what's that? NASCAR, right? If you watch that, there's always the big one, right? Watch for the big one, right? So anyway, I don't watch NASCAR, but my dad does. He's like all about that. But anyway, so I've heard that. But my point is, we got to watch for the big one, okay? If we see a major economic recession, a major economic contraction coming in, then guess what? If that were to happen, you better believe, what are they going to do? Same old thing they do every single time. The same play out of the same playbook. Print money, plow it into the economy, right? So this is another major factor. If we do see a major economic recession, which a lot of people continue to say, the second half of 2024, it's going to be ugly. Well, only time's going to tell, okay? I don't know. I have no clue. All I know is that history repeats itself, and we do know this much. There's a very high likelihood of them doing the same thing they've always done when we continue to see the same thing happen with the economy. So that's what they're saying is, watch out, major recession coming. So these are some of the factors I wanted to point out. Now, obviously, I could sit here and point out probably a dozen more of them, but these are the ones that I'm watching very closely. And again, I just want to bring this to your attention so we can see some of the major factors that are kind of giving a catalyst behind stimulus for this year. Now, again, I've said this very clearly in other videos, and I want to clarify really fast as of right now as well. As of right now, no, a stimulus check has not been approved yet, okay? I've made that very clear, and I've never sat here and said, oh, stimulus checks are coming tomorrow. I'm not that person unless I know 100% for sure, like a couple years ago when they were approved and they were coming, then I did tell you that. But as of right now, no, stimulus checks have not been approved yet. But will they be approved sometime? again, it's all about the economy and the factors I pointed out here in this video, which is why I'm bringing this to your attention. So again, I'll keep you posted. I'm here for you every single day. Again, subscribe down below, advocating on your behalf in any way that I can be. Again, share the video. Right down below the video is the share button. Subscribe to the channel with the subscribe button down below. Otherwise, go back and check out any of the other thousands of videos here on the channel, including the thousands in the video library or those that have hand selected for you down below in the description or at the top of the comment section. And enjoy your day. Take care. Have a good one. And I'll catch you again later in